Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to chat with you for a little while. No topic except for we've got to get our cherry picker in here that you use for motors and stuff and pull and with chain and pull the pipes out of the ground in our kitchen. There's a hole, but we have to make a bigger one, make it easier to work in there. We've done it before with a tiny one, but um, so even getting that in here later is going to be a bear. So anyway, we have to pull out lengths of pipe out of the ground and replace the sand point. Luckily, I had water saved because when we live in the country, yeah, we have the creek, but for drinking water, I have one of them big um, orange things with the spigot. I forget what you call them. Well, or like Igloo makes them, but they hold like about 4 gallons of water. And then I have another 5 gallon pail, and I had another one with a couple more, and Doug had saved some bottles of water, uh, gallon jugs, like old milk, ones, for so we can like flush our toilet. And well, we could with the pond or the creek too. And if it rains, we can collect that. So, I mean, we're able to wash up, but I'm not quite able to wash my hair, and it was kind of miserable last night sleeping, but it happens, it's like every 20 years or so the sand points plug up, and that's the the demonic part of the whole living in the country thing. When your pump goes out, or any of those things, the creature comforts that make your life go around, it's dependent upon you to either fix it yourself or hire somebody. So we're more yes, we have to fix it ourselves. So yeah, so it's going to be, yesterday Doug had put on another motor on the pump to see if it was the pump itself or the sand point. At first we were thinking we were having trouble regulating the yeah, it escapes me. Oh, it's like an ignition, the electronic, the valves and that type of thing, we thought. And the capacitor and a couple other moving parts on the top of the motor. Like I say, I didn't sleep very well, so I thought I'd just get on here and let you know that I might be limited on here, and I'm not going to make that doctor appointment until I have the running water, because I'm not going to go in there um, or come back home. That's the biggest thing. If I go in the clinic, if I couldn't come home and be able to wash, that would drive me crazy, especially if I had to like use their restroom or something like that ish. So yeah, I have to wait on that. So, and this needs to be taken care of. And Doug's getting older too, and both of us, like my arms, as far as like pounding the pipe back into the ground, I can help, but this is gonna be painful for both of us. So I don't know. Wish us luck. I mean, we're gonna do it. We'll get it done, you know. But it's yeah, it's gonna be a trip. Usually is. One time, I don't know which of my sons, and they were teenagers, but they really don't have any interest in learning like any kind of mechanics or functionable things that you have to know when you're out here living in the country. They're the type of attitude that, well, they want to be CEO of the company without even knowing how the company works, that type of feeling. Well, anyway, one of them had bumped the chain where the pipe goes into the ground, and if that chain had fell inside of that pipe, we would have had to pull it back out and redo it all over again after we had just gotten it in there. So I don't know. I guess it's a good, and they weren't of any help anyway. It was the old adage, worthless as tits on a board, but I got a new one for that. How about worthless tits on a man acting like a whore? No, anyway. Excuse me. I mean, these men that want to pretend they're women. It's about as worthless as breasts on them. Excuse my crudity, it is what it is, and it is crude. I mean, I can't even believe that little people on this planet have to suffer with all this weird stuff, and it is. So, like I told you before, and some of you might think this is weird or untrue or whatever, but until like I was about 18 years old or something, I had no clue what homosexuality was. No clue. I just didn't know. It didn't even occur to me. you know. So now these kids are growing, and I know that sounds like, oh, come on. No, I am serious. I really did not know. About the first encounters that I ever started having with that were people around me that were engaged in those kind of activities, and they knew I had no clue. They knew it. I was the only stupid one. So I don't know if it would have made a difference. Well, when it came to my family and I, as far as my personal family and my children, I wish I had known more because I could have kept my sons safer. Well, I probably wouldn't even had my kids if I had known um, that I was getting involved with somebody that would lay with anybody. That's the bottom line there. I just wouldn't have even got involved with him, you know. And even, I heard things were said to me and told, but not clear enough. I just did not get it. I just didn't, you know, but I do now. I just feel sorry for the children. There's no reason that they have to live in a world that's chaotic like that. And no, it's not natural, and no, it's not the makings of a family or what makes the world go around. And yes, it should be kept in private. So, and if anybody tells you any different, they're not a family person, and it's not that I don't have a loving heart. My loving heart is more concerned about the children than some jackass dressing up like a woman or taking the female role in that respect. So, and I don't care who says what. I know what's right and wrong. So, like I said, if you feel differently, that's good for you. So, anyway, so, whatever. And this is not out of hate. This is out of what makes the world go around, true biology, and whether or not the queers on this planet want to admit that they get candida, they get anal cancer and different things from their activities, even oral sex, the different not just diseases, but the different stuff that can happen to everybody. Nobody's paying any attention to that, you know. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that there are some teachings that go way back that they're not teaching, that um, delve into the science of all of what I was just talking about. And I'm pretty sure that it'll come out onto the surface, because it usually does. Whatever I talk about is like not much longer than somebody will make a video about it, like I was talking about demonic parasite type thing, and then WTTV or Woodward TV. Jay over at Woodward put something out on there, and Derek Bros from Willing Witness was going to do something like that, but he was doling it out, like when even broaching the subject, why not tell everybody what is going on and how to protect themselves if you're going to make money off of people's suffering. And that's what pissed me off. It's like, don't just tell me a little bit here and tell me what you're going to do in the future. And who are your experts? Are they microbiologists? Can they tell you gestation periods of things that infect your body? Well, I can, you know. And he wants to sit there and act, well, I, he's like, well, showed us pictures of parasites that he had, and we all do. But certain ones can be controlled by the forces of evil. And that isn't even going into anything that could be controlled with I'll break it into two words. Graph dot 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 8, or black goo, whatever, that type of thing, with 5G and all that. Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people probably don't believe that's real, but the energy and the electricity and the ether and different things, they do affect us. It's all real. So, well, anyway. So, yeah, this is what I look like when I don't sleep good. I guess I looked like that yesterday, too. Yeah, I guess I look like myself, so, yeah. So, like I say, we got a lot of work ahead of us, and I'm not sure how often I'll be on here in the next few days, so it's not that I don't care, but if I do get some minutes here and there, like now, I am trying to conserve my energy to do things I gotta do, but I don't know. It's going to be hard. Or maybe it won't. Maybe it won't be as hard as what I think. But I'm not going to do my exercises first. Or maybe not even at all until all this is over and I have running water, you know. But I was able to brush my teeth and wash and, that type of thing. And make coffee. That's important. Last night I made a beef roast, and I just made sandwiches out of it. That's all I wanted. And Doug didn't even eat. Well, he had he said about a third of a big candy bar. So I know he's not feeling very good either. And he slept later than he has been lately. He's been getting up kind of, well, sleeping in the day and then getting up early. So maybe that's just what he's got to do. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not just out to find fault in people. It's just when people do things and they don't have any kind of, um, like, if you do something bad and you feel bad about it, some people just don't, or they can kind of feign that, oh, I feel bad. Well, you really don't look too sad, type of feeling. Yeah. So it's going to be really expensive too. Probably a couple grand to put new sandpoint and pipes and coupler and all that. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's more work living out in the country. So you got to weigh the pros and the cons. Do you work harder to stay in a city and have like you don't have to worry about mowing your grass or if you have a little lot or whatever instead of a whole lot, you know, and it makes a difference, but there's probably maybe the same amount of work in a different respect, but there's a lot more physical labor, um, manual labor in the country than there is in the city. So in any regard, it's just the way it is, you know. So yeah, a person picks, where they want to live. But that's why you see a lot of estate sales from like the elderly. Well, they just can't live out in the country anymore unless they're hiring everybody to do everything. But yeah, it's not always possible. But anyway, yeah, my kids always want to come home when they're having a hard time, but they never want to participate in what it takes to make this place livable, you know? And that's a problem, because even having more people in the house is more strain on the pump, the hot water heater, the washer dryer. You know what I mean? It really is. It absolutely is. And then if somebody were like use my washer and my dryer, okay, but when it breaks down, are you going to be here to help me carry a new one or in or the old one out even or to hook it up or any of nah, it doesn't even occur to them, you know. It's the mindlessness of people that um, I have a hard time with, you know. I'm giving and loving, but then if you put like rudeness and brutality in the picture and that's because of their own selfishness, then you have another layer to the situation that isn't even necessary actually, because the old adage, you get more um, bees with honey than you would vinegar or whatever, however that goes, like if you're sweeter you usually have a easier time with people than if you're like confrontational, you know. So, yeah, but it is a pretty good day. I mean, just I walked out in the kitchen just a while ago and I was thinking, well, the sun's shining and we do have water, I mean, to use, and things could be worse. It really could. We could have been stupid and not saved any water. Then we would have had to either go down to the creek or into town to get drinking water and that type of thing. So, yeah. But yeah, you can't be stupid if you're going to live out here, you know. Just like if my kids were here right now, they wouldn't be able to pull any pipes out of the ground like I've done by myself. Well, me and a neighbor kid one time, he was about, I think, 19, and I think I was 23 and a half. So we were both pretty young, and my ex was out doing whatever he did wherever he was, not there, supposedly working. One of them that would come home with no money when he had been gone working, it's like, yeah, okay. But me and that kid were able to pull the pipes out, and we pounded a new sand point back in, hit some bedrock, and bent some pipe, and had to move it over and put it back in, and we got it done. But it was almost double the expense, because then I had to go buy another sand point because we ruined it. Well, it happens. It's just the way it is, And I did put it down in the same hole it was in, but it filled in as I was bringing it up. So, yeah. But that was really something. That was quite an accomplishment. I had a little kid when I did that. I had to put him in like a playpen and keep him close. I kept him close by the door, and my pump house, the well, was right outside by my house, so I could hear my child, and check on him because he was right there, but yeah, that was a trip. So that's what's going on around here. Yeah. So anyway, that's probably about it for today. I just wanted to let you know I'll try and get on here tomorrow. I'll see how things go, but like I say, it's going to be really hard and hectic. Well, I don't know. I'm making a video right now. Want to say hi? I'm telling them what's going on. I probably won't be on. I might be on tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I just told them we've got some some work coming up here, so I filled them in on what that's all about when you live in the country,
That's it.
So
everything I got is broke out there. Just another one on the list.
yeah.
Add to the list.
The first thing,
Life in the country.
yeah, it is. It is the way it goes. So
Gotta fix them.
yeah.
Gotta fix them.
So yeah, and our internet has been slow too. It's I tried to jump on a live stream this morning. I saw uh oh, it used to be Call for an Uprising. He's got one of his channels was on there. And it was something about the 23rd of September that he was warning us about. Perhaps something might be going on, but I couldn't load it. So then I started watching something about the chilling truth of the Phoenicians' child sacrifices and different things that they excavated. And they said, like, something about, like, the Romans being jealous of them. And I thought, well, maybe they weren't jealous. Maybe they kind of just hated them because they killed their own babies, But the Phoenicians did have like tiled kitchens and tiled bathrooms with cisterns and running water even before the Romans, from what I can gather from the whole thing. So, yeah. Anyway. So I'm going to get this uploaded. I just wanted you to know what was going on. And like I said, or maybe like, yeah, I'll probably have time tomorrow, maybe even later. But I think this will be it for today because when we go out to get that cherry picker, it's just really hectic getting things up the porch. We've got a piece of plywood that we can use to put it on and get it in, but you still have to kind of wrangle it, and it's big and bulky, and it's on wheels, but it's still the cherry picker, so it's still going to be, mm, it's going to be something that when we do it, it's like, and even Doug being sore, it's like we have to try not to hurt ourselves, because if we do, the last time he put the pump in, just the pump, he did it with a broken ankle, a broken foot. And I tried to help him all I could, but, and he had one of them boot type things on there for walking, and they didn't really take care of him like they should have either. So it was a clean break, like in half, and it should have probably had a pin in it, or I think in a cast, because there was too much movement in there. And at one point, there was so much movement, he was re-breaking it when he was sleeping. I had put like, I think like a piece of cardboard, I covered it with like a sock or something, or I don't know, I had tightened it up for him where there wasn't any play in it, so I don't know, I just think the medical profession has really diminished in a lot of ways that it used to be. I don't know. So, okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I love you. Have a beautiful weekend. God bless your week ahead. Like I say, I might be on here later or tomorrow, but I'll keep you posted on all of what's going on. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.